Yeah, okay. Just to try and get it into perspective. Why is it being allowed, or why has it got so bad? What's the root of all the problems?
Well, I'd say there were two roots. One is the lack of council and social housing that's been in decline since the right to buy came in 1981. But the level at which that was being rebuilt dropped dramatically when the coalition government came in 6 years ago. Huge cuts in the money for affordable housing, and the other reason is the benefit changes, which mean that people haven't got the money to pay the sort of levels of rents that private landlords now want.
And that is a key issue for Bristol, isn't it?
Which one of the things that makes Bristol worse than other places is that a lot of landlords realise they can get a lot more money in rent, maybe 2 or 3 times as much, if they rent to a young professional rather than a person on benefit.
So what do we do about this, Paul?
Well, we have to, in the long run, we have to build more housing. From starting saying we're going to build housing on this bit of land to the housing being available to people is 2 to 3 years. So what we also have to do is make sure we're making the best use of the housing that's already out there, reducing the number of empty properties, and also look at whether there are other buildings or other ways in which we can provide housing in the short term whilst we're building the new homes.
Well, this is something I'm really keen to talk to you about. You know, we've had people throwing it at George Ferguson last year. Why aren't we making use of all these empty buildings? Manchester opened up a couple of empty buildings that are owned by footballers or something like that, and this started this trend to open up empty buildings to let homeless people move into. Is it as simple as that?
Well, I wish it were. Obviously, a lot of the people who are sleeping on the streets have all sorts of other problems as well, whether that's mental health or drugs or alcohol or all of those. Maybe they didn't have them when they first went onto the streets, but living on the streets can send you that way. So people need other types of support as well. But we have opened up empty buildings in the same way that Manchester has, but also targeting the empty council housing properties, which before we got in May were being auctioned off. We've now been renovating them and letting them out as mainly as temporary accommodation. But these are houses in the main, which families can go in rather than going into private rented sector, or putting them over to charities who have got the money to do the repair. So that the council's got a limited amount of money. So if other people are bringing resources to